I almost feel like it was not that long ago that I questioned what this door was meant for. However, there's something new about it that I'm not sure if anybody else noticed it at the time. There's a giant 99 on top of it now. Of course, the door is still locked. However, yes, Big Games themselves have confirmed this weekend there is a new world. And not just any world, an entirely brand new section of the game. Now, I know it feels like somewhat forever since the last major world has technically updated inside of the game. Now, we're looking at January 4th of this year, which Doodle World was technically our last world. Of course, respectfully, we do have to wait for however long it may take for them to go ahead and finalize a new section. Of course, we were given all of these other updates with all these types of events, chances to get huges, Titanic, stuff like that. And finally, the most biggest time to drop an update where there's a brand new world is awesome. Regardless of how long we've been basically waiting, we have Void World, which is now completely filled up by this point. Now for today, we are going to be going over some aspects that they added into the game and go over some theories that they could quite possibly add for the new update this weekend. We're gonna have to learn how to prepare for this because we don't know what's gonna happen in this update. So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, in order to learn something, we have to be able to visit something that is also Fantasy World related. We are in Pet Simulator X currently, and I'm kind of curious to see if there's anything here that can give us some sort of hint. Obviously, Big Games did announce, basically, on their Twitter, pretty much a throwback, and this was on the 5th. Following on the 6th, that we're traveling to a new world, which is Fantasy World. This, in theory, is technically Fantasy World in Pet Simulator X. Of course, we have all of these different islands that we were able to visit at the time. We had to unlock every single portal with currency, and each and every single island had their very own dedicated currency. There was always this door here too as well. Obviously, I was able to go through there at some point, and this is to just unlock some sort of different thing that I forgot, but I don't remember. You guys could probably remember that in the comments. But we were introduced to new areas here, which is honestly a really big throwback because we were able to just break a giant chest, which was, like, at the time, a lot of health, and it felt like it took, like, forever to break. Every single zone had its very own thing and its very own design, so I'm trying to maybe perhaps find something that would kind of look like that little emerald thing that they posted. I forgot what it was, but it was like a fantasy shard that you need to find before the portal opens. But clearly, we have Candy Island, all these different locations that we can go ahead and visit, and it's actually really, this is like a throwback for me, obviously. And this was like something that we were able to visit before the game ended up basically transitioning to 99. We had to do a hunt here. Oh my gosh, the hunt. I don't know if you guys actually remember that too. Wait, I just realized rest in peace Pet Simulator 2 right there too. Oh my god. But I remember the last thing that we were able to do on this game, and I forgot what it led to, but we were able to find hidden eggs, and we had to find them all or something for like a huge safari cat or something. Oh my gosh, if you guys remember that update and if you were a part of it, can you please remind me because I completely forgot about it. And clearly our last location is Heaven's Gate. This was the last area before we were given an update, which allowed us to go into Tech World. And doing that was honestly super duper duper amazing. Granted, this felt like it took literally forever. You needed to have people here help you break this because, again, at the time, this took forever to break. Now, I don't see anything here that signifies anything that would relate to the shard other than the fact that we have to open up a portal. And because Pet Simulator X is only hoisted to huges and exclusive stat pets, stuff like that, we don't have any items in here that will actually help us out, give us a clue, other than the fact that we do have pets in worlds, basically. So we're gonna have to jump back into Pet Simulator 99 and see what we're able to find there. So the one thing that everybody is probably wondering and they're finally seeing on every social media outlet that they're in, whether it be Twitter, Discord, YouTube, the fantasy fragment. It states, pieces of fantasy itself, gather them before the portal opens. Of course, last night, I believe I noticed this with Elk and a few others that ended up saying that this was something that they recently added. On Twitter, I believe it was Mitchell that ended up saying that they added a super secret item into the loots inside of fishing. This was going for 100 million a piece. I bought 2. I know that's a lot, but still. How many of these do you exactly need? I have absolutely no idea. However, because it is not singular, it sounds like you're going to need more than 1. How many? I have absolutely no idea again. So it's up in the air on how many you actually need. You could need 2, 3, 4, 100, who knows? But you do need to gather them before a portal opens. Will we get another hint somewhere? I have no idea. Who knows? Will it help us out indicate how many we need? Maybe. Should we cheat? Maybe. Now, if we were going back into their post that they made that they actually now officially pinned, it says World 4 is coming. Travel to the new fantasy world. Unlock and explore enchanted zones. Time trials await. Master the art of speed. Now, that's the interesting part for me specifically. Time trials await. We're gonna get timed for something, and we have to be fast about it. That's basically what it means. But for what? Someone also asked if this was going to be a 99 world area. And of course, they responded with yes, well, eventually. So maybe perhaps that we're going to see this over time be filled up as well, because technically this is going to be a whole dedicated space just like every other world. And then of course, somebody also asked if there's going to be a rebirth. Now I know how everybody hates going to start back to Area 1 and then restarting the whole thing all over again. This one requires no rebirth. Now, it does feel a little strange having to go back into Pet Simulator X and visiting their fantasy world versus what we could quite possibly get this weekend. And I know so many of you guys have been waiting for this update to finally drop a brand new world, a new section, and what quite possibly the possibilities of absolutely everything being dropped on this day could entail. I find this to be a little nostalgic. Obviously, the game was released in December 2023. We're in 2025 now. It almost feels a little strange to say that because it's been a long time since this game's been released, in Roblox terms at least. It makes me sad the more that the game progresses and the more likely the game is going to come to an end. Eventually. Not now, clearly, but eventually. This only opens up so much more possibilities in the future of big games as a studio and as a whole. So, I say this with a grain of salt. Enjoy every moment that you have with it and appreciate what they give you. And of course, if you don't agree with that, then that is absolutely fine. Not everybody is going to agree with what I say, nor anybody else. And to be quite real with you all right now, as far as saving a ton of items, it's almost impossible to say other than what we already have right now in the game, which are potions, enchants, ultimates, anything that you can think of. Pretty much everybody should have this unless you're a brand new player to the game. The only thing that we theoretically need at the very moment are these shards. So the only thing I could really say is pay attention to what they're saying on their Twitter and in the Big Games Discord if they do happen to post anything. If you guys end up finding anything out about these or what you think they might be used for, let me know down in the comments. We have to know what these are used for in regards of a portal. But alas, we have reached the moment of time where I basically give out the last item that I did promise everybody in my previous video, which was warning, don't do this while fishing or no luck. In this video, I pretty much had an extra Kraken rod to give away, so congratulations to Primetime_21. Bye, Rod. Okay, well, the good news is I ended up getting another one from a chest. This one ended up coming out of, I believe, 25 chests. So, if you guys want it, you guys already know the drill. Leave your comment down below, and in my next video upload, the next Kraken rod will go ahead and go to somebody that actually needs it. And since Pet Simulator 99 is doing a throwback, I figured I would also do a throwback on my channel that has not been presented in a very long time. For those that do know this and really missed it, this is it. Until then, we'll see what happens this weekend.
as baby Daibo sat on the floor defeated. It seems like Shadow may have stolen something that did not belong to him. But what does a little Daibo do when he's down on the ground?
Woo woo! Yeah, you're stupid. Only stupid pets hurt other pets like that. And you're not my friend. Yeah, of course. I don't think you've also noticed that I did a hidden technique. Woo woo!
We saw what you did. Shadow, it was bad. It's time for your ultimate punishment.
Dogs aren't stupid for your information. I have achieved ultimate ascending powers beyond your imagination. No, I don't think so, fam. You're cooked.